Beryl Wiseman, editor of the Suburban, with you. My colleagues and friends, Anthony Bonaparte, features editor, Mark Ledbetter, sports editor. And now we turn it over to Mark and his special guest, Juan Mendez, general manager of the Montreal Tundra. Mark.
Yeah, that's right. Juan is the GM of the Montreal Tundra of the Basketball Super League. They just wrapped up their season. And, another great one. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy at the Pierre Charbonneau Center, and a lot of community participation. Juan, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate it.
Now, the team posted a 9-15 record this year, but that's not the story. The boys were in it all the way. A lot of tight contests and a lot of thrilling games, and that's what you want to see for the fans. Obviously, you want to build on that each year. What's your reflection on the past campaign?
Absolutely. The record didn't reflect really on what you were watching. I know we lost a lot of games, but all the games were under 5 points, one or two possessions. So the entertainment factor was there, and I think that's what we wanted to bring first and foremost to the fans was the entertainment, to make sure people come back and watch.
You had a lot of exciting players, but a nice season for Antoine Mason. He finished 4th overall in the league in points per game with a 21.5 average. That had to be an electrifying player out on the floor for the fans to watch.
Oh, absolutely. We got Antoine. I've known Antoine for years. If you guys don't know, his father played for the New York Knicks. Mm-hmm. I think that he comes from a good pedigree when it comes to basketball. So we tried to get the best, and then he came and showed out and did what he was supposed to do on the court. But we just fell short of a couple of wins. But he had a great season individually. I think he's going to be back next year. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll move forward with that.
And also, we had nice representation of the Tundra at the BSL All-Star events. We even won the slam dunk competition, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So my initiative this year was to get entertainment, get people excited about the product on the floor, and get the community out and watch great basketball. So, look, we did win the dunk-off, which was great in Sudbury. Hopefully next year we have someone who could do the same. But, for this year it was perfect. Now,
also, very important part of the organization is being involved in the community. And I know one very special night was you had a lot of the high school basketball championship teams in and out on the floor to be recognized. Do you want to talk a bit about the commitment to community by the Tundra?
Yeah, so, for us, community is first and foremost. That's the goal we're trying to push here. I believe that without the community, we can't have a professional basketball team in Montreal. We had a great time partnering up with the Quebec Federation, what helped us launch that event that you're talking about with the winners of the basketball community. And I think that's important. We're giving light to the next generation when it comes to basketball. So I think that's something very important for us now and moving forward.
Now, also, as I say, the season's done, but when it comes to the front office, I guess it's not really done. You don't have any time to put your feet up. You're already looking towards the next campaign in the BSL?
Absolutely. So we're looking into Season 3. I think Season 3 has a lot to offer. Next year we're going to have 30 home games instead of 20 home games and 12 on the road. I think that's more for the fans, more for the community to come on and show love. Obviously, this summer, like you said, I don't stop. Back office doesn't stop. We're going to do Junior Tundra, which means we're going to be involved in a lot of camps throughout the city and try to give our expertise when it comes to basketball.
And one of the things that really impressed me is the fact that, 12 and under kids were able to go to the games free, accompanied by their parents. So, just a great family outing to see some really good basketball.
Absolutely. It's affordable, right? That's one of the main things we wanted to really push the first two seasons we had going. I think it's important to be able to have families out there, and the kids, obviously, they love the sport, and the parents have to come along and enjoy it because basketball is fun to watch, and it's one of the most sports watched in the world. Besides soccer, I think basketball is number maybe 1 or 2 at this point when it comes to the world. I think it's important we just continue growing the game, and for me, that's a plus.
And it is. It's a world game. It's a growing game, and the Tundra is very much part of helping that happen right here in Montreal and throughout the province. Juan, I want to thank you for taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you next year at the court when training camp opens up.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening.
Interesting, in his background, he played 2 years of basketball in Israel.
Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt your interview, but I was interested to know why basketball. I know why. I know who popularized it originally, Tal Brody, but it's really taken off. There are a few professional players that have gone from the NBA who have gone to play for Israeli teams.
It's because it is such a world game now. I mean, and even here in Canada, if you look at it, Canada is actually going to be a medal threat this year at the Olympics in the Summer Games in Paris. And Israel is a very competitive basketball nation. They produce players at the amateur level. They go on to play in the pro leagues throughout the world, and some have come over and played in the NBA.
Again, the Chevrolet Cup made some news this week.
Yes, well, now it was the boys' turn out there, and the CHA Black Grizzlies, they were golden at the Chevrolet Cup Provincial Championships. That was in the U11 AA category. It was hosted by the Morrissey region, which is all around the Quebec City area and that. And they were in Shawinigan for the final on Sunday afternoon at the Gilles Bourassa Arena. And they rallied from a first period 2-goal deficit to claim a 7-3 victory over the Richelieu Grand Duc, so you could say the home team. And how they did it was they reeled off 6 unanswered goals over the second and third periods to earn the championship banner. Now, the player of the game for the Black Grizzlies was Quincy Fontaine, and Fontaine blew away the Grand Ducs because he was responsible for 6 of the 7 goals, and that included the last 5 goals of the game. And he scored at even strength on the power play. He had a shorthanded tally into the empty net to conclude the scoring. All he was missing was a penalty shot goal to go for the cycle. And the CHA goaltenders, Simon Caron, he played shutout hockey from the 11:41 mark of the opening period to the final buzzer to keep Richelieu from adding to their total. So it was a really great game.
Terrific.
And also now, spring sports are kicking off. And Bialik High School, the home of the Bulldogs, they held a kickoff tournament for girls flag football in the GMAA. That's the Greater Montreal Athletic Association. And they had 4 teams take part in the day-long event. They had LCC, Sacred Heart, and ECS join them. There was a 3-game minimum, so the girls could shake the rust off. And in the final, it was the Bialik Bulldogs taking a 13-0 win over the LCC Lions. And that was on the strength of Maya Turner. She had a pick 6 for a touchdown. And there was another pick 6 by Samara Gorbachuk to claim the win. And just closing out on a really good note here, too. The Expos Fest, Perry Giannius and his family, an extended family of volunteers, raised $331,000 for the Cat Demis Pavilion last Saturday at the Expo Fest Gala, honoring the 1994 best team in baseball.
Perry and his family do great work, and that pavilion really does an important service to the community.
Yeah, their 30th anniversary of that team. Now, Hall of Famer and World Series champion Pedro Martina was the big draw, and like when he was on the mound, Pedro did not disappoint. But it was a great job by Perry and all involved on the success of the event. Now, looking ahead to the next edition, there's going to be some futsal, which is indoor soccer on the floor, how NDG Baseball is preparing for the upcoming season, and we should have some Saint Laurent minor hockey news. They had success at the regional championships.
Thank you, Mark. Montreal. That's a wrap for this edition of the Suburban News Hour. Anthony, thank you. Mark, Mike, and we'll see you next Sunday night.